tonight's the AGM of Council, and this is where we elect our new Mayor, and it's a Sinn Fe Mayor this year, and it'll be the election of South Belfast Councillor Máirtín Ó Muilleoir. And Máirtín was obviously here in the 80s. He's seen the bad old days of what Belfast City Council was, and it's just great now, all those years later, the transformation that not only Belfast has made, but Belfast City Council has made, and Máirtín's now leading the way on that change also, in terms of creating a new Belfast and what it can be for the next generation, particularly young people in this city. This will be another successful Sinn Fe Mayor, I believe. Not only is he a Gaeilgeoir and he's enthused in the Irish language, his priorities for this year is also targeting young people in the city, particularly around youth unemployment, which is sitting at around 20% within Belfast, and that will be a focus for Máirtín in his year as Mayor. He's actually the first Mayor that will launch a Mayor's Manifesto, and that will happen within the next week, and that will set out what his programme will be for the year, and it's about inward investment into the city and also job creation and targeting youth unemployment.
Well, it's a tremendous achievement for Sinn Fe in Belfast, and particularly those people who have stood with the party and voted for us in large numbers over the last number of years. Máirtín Ó Muilleoir first came in the Belfast City Council in 1987. Myself was in 83 as the first Sinn Fe member. Sean Maynard came in 84. We followed in by another team in 85. So we have moved from having one councillor here 30 years ago this month to having a Lord Mayor almost every 2 years now as of right. That's a great tribute to the people who've stood by our party over all of these years. I mean, in 1987 when Máirtín first came into the council, that was the height of the exclusion period. We were virtually not allowed on the committees. The Unionist majority were dominating Belfast City Council at the time. They were, had used every kind of conceivable form of exclusion. They had small subcommittees which were not open to full members of the council. They banned Sinn Féin from using the car park in the back of City Hall. They banned Sinn Féin from taking part in any public civic event. So those were the heavy days of exclusion, of censorship, of discrimination against our party councillors, and of course that meant that those many people who elected us were being discriminated against writ large. But people like Máirtín and many of our other council team, those who have passed through our council team in many years, many of them, some who have since passed away, like Sean Keenan, Pat McGeown, many others whose homes were attacked, they were attacked themselves. So we came through a very tough period of time here over a number of years, but the tenacity and the vision of republicanism in Belfast has seen through to the point where, as I've said, 30 years ago we had one member elected to Belfast, and now we have the Lord Mayor virtually every 2 years as of right, because of the mandate people in this city have very honourably given to our party, and that is a privilege that we do not take lightly. We live up to it, we believe, making sure that we give full representation not only to the Sinn Féin voters but people right across Belfast.
Well, the first thing is we should thank Alderman Gavin Robinson for a great year in office, and we're picking up again. Every second year now it seems that Sinn Féin have the mayoralty of Belfast. I think our job in the time ahead is to build the peace, embed the peace across the city, and that means bringing our people together. But we also need to make sure that we put the economy front and central. I want jobs to be my focus. It's a four-letter word we don't hear often enough in council, and I think central to that is really making sure the working class communities get a much more generous peace dividend than they've got so far. So we've certainly made progress. The peace itself is a great gift to the city of Belfast, but now we need to continue to build Belfast and to build a really sustainable breadwinner jobs going into working class areas across the city, which really did the heavy lifting during the tough years. They deserve to see the most benefits from the peace. Well, there bhí mé seo Gajeranach and I seach mar arad bhí mé seachnaí in his feet dish Cura Mahas and Kate Crinu mé AJ Momacha mar lor mé Gaelic and Shananiha or Togu Changi Leprechaun in Gaelic Gibrio mé Iber and RUC mé Crinu Eganam Shan Bagraklan Shagach Flak Jacket a Cahu Nero Caro and Lord Cheg na Crinu Cura Mahas na Crinu Coist which is Rursion to Shan Legans Nam at the heart Chicha Nation Dolan Kenneth Jan like a Harry Joe Renew Art Vera Dalek Maske Gavi this is Daw agus ní dáilm bhfuil staplin mar phobal agus na caiintear phobal le Belfast. Si gur bhhaid le bonus bhaintear Belfast go bhfuil ait de gach daine sa car seo go ait duna héandachtaí agus ait duna publictóirí agus naisiúntóirí agus sin mar sin an soisce a tugaine go háid na daoine nua tá chatte an na carach ar chuirmá ait de gach daine in sa car seo. Rud nach ro ribh ach táidir turas siadam ag ait níos far anis. Well, as you know, there's a preponderance of Unionist images and imagery around Belfast City Hall. Perhaps 90% of our imagery is Unionist. Despite that, we have decided, and I've decided this year, that we won't move any of the portraits of the British Royals that are in the Lord Mayor's parlour. That's a mark of respect towards Unionist tradition. But we do want to say to everyone that this City Hall needs to reflect the city. The great work that Niall O'Donnell did in trying to bring in those many ethnic minorities which have shaped Belfast but which really aren't reflected as you walk around City Hall. We need to continue that work. We really need to build a future Belfast which is a place for people of colour, as a place for gay people, as a place for all our minorities. We have to cherish everybody equally in this city, and that's the only way Belfast is going to be a great city.